It was a bright afternoon in the city. The streets were crowded, not just with people rushing to work, but with excitement. A wealthy businessman, Mr. Allen, stood in the center of it all. Expensive cars lined the road, cameramen hovered around him, and a crowd had gathered, waiting to see what he would do. With a wide smile, Mr. Allen raised his voice so everyone could hear. "Today," he declared proudly, "I am giving back to the poor." He pulled out bundles of money and waved them high in the air. Then he began distributing food packets and coins into the hands of the needy. The crowd clapped and cheered. Some even shouted his name in admiration. Photographers captured every moment, flashing their cameras as though Mr. Allen were a celebrity. But not everyone in the crowd was cheering. Standing quietly at the edge of the street was a little boy named Sam. His clothes were worn, and his small hand tightly clutched his mother's trembling fingers. She was pale, clearly unwell, and leaned on him for support. Unlike the others, Sam didn't rush forward for the food or the money. He simply watched, his eyes filled with sadness, not excitement. For Sam, his mother's medicine mattered far more than the bread in Mr. Allen's hand. But the grand show around him made him feel invisible. Nobody noticed the boy or his sick mother in the shadows. In that moment, as the applause rang out for Mr. Allen, Sam realized something: sometimes people give not to help, but to be seen. That evening, the city lights flickered on, but Sam's world felt darker than ever. He sat on the cold steps outside a hospital, his mother leaning weakly against him. Her breathing was shallow, and her hand felt hot with fever. Inside, the doctor had said the word Sam dreaded: "She needs medicine immediately. Without it, her condition will worsen." The cost, however, was far more than the few coins he had in his pocket. Sam had tried to beg for help, but people brushed past him, too busy with their own lives. Tears burned his eyes as he held his mother's hand tighter. "Don't worry, Mama," he whispered, though his voice cracked with fear. At that moment, a shadow fell across him. Sam looked up and saw an old man in simple, worn-out clothes. His face was lined with years of hardship, yet his eyes carried a warmth that felt like home. The man knelt beside Sam and asked softly, "What troubles you, child?" Sam hesitated, then explained in a trembling voice about his mother's illness and the medicine he could not afford. The old man listened without interruption. Then, without saying another word, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small bundle of notes. It wasn't much, but it was exactly enough. He pressed the money gently into Sam's hand and whispered, "Take care of her, son. Don't lose hope." There were no cameras, no applause, no audience. Just a quiet act of kindness that lit up the boy's world. Sam's tears now flowed with gratitude instead of despair. He ran inside, clutching the money, knowing that tonight a stranger's silent gift might save his mother's life. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the hospital window. Sam's mother, though still weak, was already looking better. The medicine had worked through the night, and for the first time in days, she managed to smile at her son. Sam sat by her bedside, his heart full of relief and gratitude. As fate would have it, Mr. Allen happened to pass by the hospital that same morning. His expensive car pulled up at the entrance, and once again he was dressed in his finest suit. He was still basking in yesterday's glory, proud of the praise and headlines he had earned for his generosity. But as he walked past the waiting area, he noticed little Sam laughing softly with his recovering mother. Curious, he stopped. "How did you manage her treatment?" he asked, expecting perhaps that the boy had received help from one of his public donations. Sam's eyes lit up as he pointed toward the hospital gate. There, walking slowly with his cane, was the old man who had helped him the night before. No one noticed him, no one clapped. He blended back into the crowd, as quietly as he had appeared. In that instant, Mr. Allen felt something stir deep inside him. His expensive show had earned him applause, but this poor man's hidden act had saved a life. Mr. Allen realized the truth he had missed all along: real giving needs no spotlight, it only needs love. He stood still, humbled, as Sam whispered to his mother, "The kind man saved you." And in the silence that followed, the lesson became clear. The greatest gifts are not given to be seen, but to be felt. True generosity leaves no mark on the giver, it leaves hope in the heart of the receiver.